Here are some of the most horrifying mythical creatures to ever exist, or at least that's what people claim. Personally, I would prefer if they didn't, for legal reasons and emotional stability. Welcome back. Tonight, we're traveling across haunted castles, southern bedrooms, swamp water, ancient Greece, lonely Mexican highways, and snowy European villages. Because humanity apparently looked at every environment and said, yes, let's put a monster there. If you survive this list without checking behind you, impressive. Let's begin. Deep inside ancient European castles, the kind with stone walls, flickering torches, and absolutely no fire safety regulations, there are reports of a woman in white. She doesn't run down hallways, she doesn't scream dramatically, she doesn't even rattle chains for dramatic effect. She just appears. One moment the corridor is empty. The next moment, she's standing there, pale dress flowing like it's underwater, hollow eyes, a face that looks permanently stuck between grief and quiet rage. They call her the White Lady. Some legends say she was betrayed by her lover. Others say she was murdered. Either way, she clearly did not move on in a healthy, emotionally productive way. Servants used to whisper that whenever she drifted silently through the halls, tragedy followed soon after. A death, a betrayal, sometimes an entire war, which feels like a dramatic overreaction to unresolved feelings. Imagine being a medieval king, seeing a ghost, and thinking, well, guess we're invading France. So if you're ever touring a castle and you look up to see a pale woman staring at you from a balcony, maybe don't wave. Maybe don't say, oh my god, this is so aesthetic. Just slowly back away. At least she keeps her distance. Some creatures, unfortunately, believe in closer interaction. Uncomfortably close. In parts of the southern United States, people don't just fear the dark. They fear going to sleep, because that's when the Boo Hag begins her shift. She doesn't kick in doors, she doesn't break windows, she slips inside, like smoke through a crack in the wall, quiet, patient, rude. You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't move, your chest feels heavy, you try to scream, nothing. That's not stress, that's not a bad dream. That's her, sitting on your chest, watching. They say she rides her victims night after night, draining their energy until they slowly waste away. And the best part? In the morning, there's no proof, just exhaustion, and the horrifying realization that you still have work. Imagine surviving a supernatural attack and still having to attend a meeting at 9 a.m. Sorry I'm late, a demon was sitting on me. At least she waits until you're indoors. Some creatures don't care about walls. They wait in places much colder and much wetter. In old English villages, parents didn't warn their children about ponds because of slippery rocks. They warned them about bloody bones, which is already a name that suggests this creature did not have a nurturing childhood. Bloody Bones hides beneath still water, no glowing red eyes, no dramatic music cue, just mud, silence, reflection. You step a little too close to the edge. Maybe you're curious. Maybe you think folklore is just a metaphor. And suddenly, long skeletal arms explode from the surface and grab you. Cold fingers wrapping around your ankles, dragging you down into the darkness below. No splash, no screaming echo, just bubbles, rising slowly to the surface, and then calm again, as if nothing happened. So if you ever find yourself near murky water at sunset, alone, hearing absolutely nothing. Of course, water isn't the only thing hiding danger. Sometimes, danger smiles at you, which, historically, has worked very well. In ancient Greece, men told stories of a woman so beautiful that they would follow her anywhere, which, honestly, tracks. Her name was Empusa. She appeared charming, elegant, almost unreal, the kind of beautiful that makes you ignore obvious warning signs. Under the moonlight, however, the truth showed itself. One leg might be bronze, the other not entirely human, and that's usually a red flag. Once she lured her victim far enough from civilization, far enough from help, her face would twist, fangs emerging, eyes burning, a hunger that had absolutely nothing to do with romance. By the time he realized something was wrong, Empusa was already feeding. So if a mysterious stranger invites you on a midnight walk into the wilderness, maybe text someone your location, maybe bring a friend, maybe question why this is happening at midnight. Just basic survival instincts, but at least Empusa stays on the ground. Most of the time. Some creatures prefer altitude, because apparently that's more dramatic. In parts of Mexico, drivers whisper about something that circles lonely highways at night. They call her La Lechuza. By day, she may appear as an ordinary old woman, quiet, harmless, the kind of neighbor who absolutely knows your schedule. But when night falls, she transforms, massive owl wings stretching wider than your car, glowing eyes cutting through darkness, talons sharp enough to pierce bone like paper. Some legends say she can mimic the sound of a crying baby, which is possibly the most evil evolutionary strategy ever designed. You hear crying outside at 2 a.m. You step outside to help, and suddenly, she dives from the sky, feathers, wind, talons. So if you hear something crying outside your window tonight, maybe confirm it's not airborne. Maybe look up first. Maybe stay inside. But even La Lechuza isn't the final level, because folklore always saves something worse for last. When winter arrives in the mountains of Europe, children are told to behave, not because of Santa, because of Krampus, towering horns, cloven hooves crushing snow, chains dragging behind him like a warning bell. He doesn't reward good behavior. He punishes the bad. On certain nights, he roams through villages searching for the wicked, and when he finds them, he doesn't give speeches. He gives consequences, scratches on doors, heavy breathing outside windows, footprints appearing in fresh snow where no one should be standing, children disappearing without explanation. Holiday spirit just dropped significantly. So if you hear something outside your house in December, slow steps, chains scraping, deep breathing. It might not be the wind, it might be accountability with horns, no pressure, just festive terror. If you made it this far without checking over your shoulder, congratulations. Let me know in the comments which creature you think would be the worst roommate. Personally, Boo Hag. I enjoy oxygen while sleeping, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. It's free, it helps the channel, and it might slightly reduce your odds of being dragged into a medieval war by a floating ghost. No promises. As always, sleep well, because some of these creatures only need you to close your eyes once, and they are very patient. Until next time.